Hey guys, what's up? HockeyMan91 here, and today we're looking at the iPhone 5C. Is it still worth buying in 2016? So I recently released a video on the iPhone 5S. If you haven't seen it, please check it out and subscribe for more videos just like this one. But let's get right into this. First off, let's start with some background. The iPhone 5C was released in 2013 alongside the iPhone 5S. It was meant as a cheaper option for those who couldn't afford the 5S or didn't need the extra power. The main differences between the phones is that the 5S is a bit faster, has Touch ID, and comes in an aluminum build. The 5C has a plastic shell and comes in the colors white, yellow, blue, green, and pink. I actually owned a 5C for a period, so I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to whether or not it's still good. The phone on the screen is my brother's, but moving on. The 5C camera isn't the best around, but it is definitely better than some of the cheaper Android options coming in at 8 megapixels and 1080p video. Still very good and is better than the iPhone 5, which was released a year earlier. The 5C and the 5 share most of the same hardware with few differences. The camera on the 5C is slightly better, and of course it's plastic, but otherwise they're almost the exact same when it comes to specs. They have approximately the same speeds with Apple's A6 processor and 1GB of RAM. This phone will be able to run all modern apps and games, and while it doesn't boast blazing speeds, it will still get you through the day with minimum frustration. Loading times are fine as long as you have a good Wi-Fi signal, so you really have nothing to worry about there. It comes in 8, 16, and 32GB models. Trust me when I say you don't want anything less than 16. I'd even recommend getting the 32, but you know, the 16 is okay. Just don't get the 8GB because it is too small, unless all you're going to do is check your email and text and call people. But if you're going to take pictures or download or do anything on your phone really, then you should definitely at least get the 16. And as all Apple products, it looks really good. I don't know what they do differently than Android, but whatever it is, I just can't help but admire how good their devices look. I realize some people actually prefer the look of Samsung's or whatever, but that's my opinion and I'm sticking with it. It has a 4-inch screen at a resolution of 640 by 1136. The iPhone 5C runs iOS 9.3 without issue and should be able to run 10 no problem, and maybe even 11. Apple is crazy good when it comes to supporting older products, with even the 4S still supported. Link to the review of that in the description, by the way, if you are interested. The 4S was released all the way back in 2012. That's ridiculous. I used to have an Android, and literally the year after I got it, it became unsupported. That's one thing Apple does so well, other than the design. You can have your phone for years and not worry about it getting to the point where it's unusable. So that's all good and fun, but is the phone still any good? Should I buy one? Well, yes and no. The iPhone prices vary, with Amazon.com charging a way overpriced $200 to $250 and eBay charging a more fair $150 or so for a 16GB model, and that's American dollars. But is it worth the money? With an iPhone 5C, you'll be able to do pretty much anything, although you might not be able to play certain games, heavier processing ones like if they're 3D, for some. The biggest concern about this phone is how long you'll be able to run almost everything. At this point, I'd say you probably got another year or so before there are apps that are not made for the 5C, but that's just my guess, so take it with a grain of salt. This phone would work really well as a bridge phone. Maybe your old phone just broke and you want the iPhone 7 when it comes out, so you just need a temporary phone. This phone would work perfectly for that. But as a long-term phone, you might be a little bit disappointed in the near future. Of course, right now it is perfectly acceptable. Something you might want to note is that the 5S is only about $200 to $250 brand new on eBay, which is a much better buy for your buck. Not only do you get Touch ID and an aluminum casing, but it will also be a fair amount faster. And if you have even more money to spend, go all out for the iPhone SE or the iPhone 6. If you want a big screen, do not get this phone. The thing that really bugs me about reviews on smaller phones like the new iPhone SE is that everyone whines about the screen size. It's made smaller intentionally for the small market of people who actually prefer small phones. Yeah, they exist. The whole point is make sure you're okay with a 4-inch screen if you want this phone. It's definitely big enough for a lot of people, and it looks great. So when it comes all down to it, the iPhone 5C is completely usable in today's world, but as I said before, it is not a long-term phone, so if you're going to get it, be prepared to upgrade within the next couple of years, not even the next couple of years, like next year. And you know, it's a good phone though, especially if you're on a budget. If you're on a budget, this is the perfect phone for you. If you can't, you know, spend a little more money and get the 5S, which I would totally encourage in pretty much all cases. And again, if you need a bigger screen, go for the iPhone 6 or 6S. 6 is cheaper right now. probably the better buy. Or even stick around and wait for the iPhone 7 if you're willing to pay way too much money and pay for an extremely overpriced phone. Then just wait for that. Alright guys, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please like it. If you didn't like the video, I guess dislike it, although that'll make me cry under the covers with more ice cream. And leave comment below saying your thoughts on the 5C. Thank you guys again for watching, and please subscribe for more videos just like this one. Alright, I'll see you guys later.
Let it go.